In October of 2016, Hurricane Matthew swept through the East Coast, including North Carolina. Prior to going to Virginia, Natalie had let me know about her father and what kind of a man he is. Alycia as well. When we went to the pagoda, it was just prior to Hurricane Matthew. Alycia was trying to help me get an apartment in Virginia. On our way to the pagoda, we spoke with Shelley Campbell, and they were trying to get Shelley to go to Virginia with their siblings so they could be safe from Ted. Alycia and Natalie were both adamant about this. To find out later that Miss Shelley was trying to get Natalie put in prison. Well, yes, I was aware of what Ted did to his children when they were still children. But I didn't find out about it until they were adults. In Virginia in 2016, Alycia helped me to get a job at Labor Ready so that I could make some money because I arrived broke. I arrived broke because the first time I tried to head there, my favorite person in the world and a woman I used to think I was in love with, they needed a hero. And Natalie was okay with it, and I turned around. When I got to Virginia, I was flat broke. The things that Natalie and Alycia invited me to do, like go to Virginia Beach, where I held Natalie's hand and dealt with two drunk assholes, and the pagoda, and my birthday, those were all Natalie and Alycia's ideas. For me to stay behind the cricket store where Alycia worked in Virginia, that was Alycia's idea. Natalie was trying to get me a job at Vico Construction with her mother. And like I said, they were trying to get me an apartment there in Virginia. That was Alycia in specific who was doing that. And it was Natalie in specific who was trying to get me the job at Vico. They knew that I had panic attacks. They knew what it was from. Alycia, not so much. Natalie, yes. I spent a lot of time with Alycia while I was in Virginia because she worked at the cricket store. She used to call me over for her cigarette breaks and her lunch breaks and talk about herself. But she also talked a little bit about her family. If you guys have paid any attention to what Ted and Alycia have been up to since Natalie's death, drugs. While Tim Beeson and Natalie and many other people accused me of being on meth because I was having a severe panic attack over abuse that I was taking, Ted did whatever he wanted. Whatever he wanted. I tried to keep those young women safe as I could, given the circumstances. When they were underage, I just tried to run them off because they were hanging out with a bad element. A bunch of juggalos started bringing in heroin real heavy in about 2003. And that continued to this day. It's not just the juggalos now, though. That conversation just prior to Hurricane Matthew that we had in Virginia in 2016. That was probably about an hour and a half long conversation with Shelley Campbell. Mostly Natalie and Alycia talking. They wanted to know if I was willing to help get Miss Shelley there and get her somewhere safe, and I was totally down. See, I already knew by that point what kind of a man Ted was because of the email by Natalie, as well as conversations that we had had. Natalie and I had very similar stories. To be treated like I'm Ted Bollinger, to be treated like I had her on those drugs, to be treated like I was the one who molested her and raped her, even by people that I had never wronged, people whose lives that I'd saved, literally, was just wrong. For me not to see any of my loved ones in Boulder without having to fear some idiot coming around the corner and calling me a child molester, or hitting me, or knocking my phone out of my hand, or trying to shove me over something, sometimes more than one. And Natalie would do nothing about it, and Alycia would do nothing about it, and Maddie would do nothing about it. Meanwhile, Alycia, she's still on the drugs. Her dad's still on the drugs. The most disgusting thing is that after all that they told me about Ted, Ted was a part of their lives. Ted wasn't having any consequences, but I was. I was being treated as if I had done the things that Ted did. Having my life threatened, having people tell me that they'll kill my entire family. Yeah, that's not going to sit well with me. When I threatened to kill the people who threatened to kill me and threatened to kill my loved ones, Natalie and her mother, or Alycia and her mother, pretended like I threatened their lives. And all of these people who harassed me and threatened me and stole from me and lied to me, they used the slander as their excuse why it's okay. Alycia Bollinger is treated far too well for the things that she's done. The most disgusting part is that she went back to her predator, Ted Bollinger, to do drugs, to flee state, to go on a high-speed chase, to scare the living shit out of people who actually give a fuck about her, people like me. Just because I love her doesn't mean that I can't acknowledge the fact that she deserves this. She deserves the pain. Because not only did she reward the predator, but she destroyed the life of an innocent man who was accused of the very same things that that predator actually did. She knew those things weren't true, but she said nothing. She hid behind others. Oh, well, I didn't do it, so it's okay. Oh, these other people did it. It wasn't me. No, Alycia. These people did these things because you lied. And then after you lied, you couldn't come forward, even knowing that I was being harmed, knowing that I couldn't see my loved ones, knowing that I was being treated like a child molester and a rapist, knowing that I never did those things to you, knowing that I didn't stalk you to Virginia, knowing that after Virginia I was just trying to get you to ask these people to stop, to tell them the truth. But you're selfish and you only care about drugs. Your father is an evil man. Your words, your sister's words, so I came to where I'm at now, to go up the mountain and starve myself to death. Mr. Bobby says that's a horrible way to go. I'm going to tell you something. When I went to see Ms. Jerry, I rode a bike from Boulder, Colorado to Greeley, Colorado years ago. And I was severely dehydrated and I fell off of my bike on the side of the road. When I heard my older brother was getting married, over a decade ago now, I started off on another bike in a homemade trailer. A trailer that I had made out of a stroller and a crib at Lana and Amanda Engelein's house up in Montana. And again, I got dehydrated and I ended up in the hospital. When I went to rescue Natalie in Virginia, she just needed a friend. She just needed someone to listen. Because everyone in her family talked over her. Everyone. And she just wanted so badly to make them happy. I don't try to make my family happy. I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to sacrifice my happiness and my well-being and my safety to make a bunch of selfish people who have more in common with Ted Bollinger than they have in common with me. I shouldn't have to do those things, and Natalie shouldn't have either. Alycia chose to do those things. Alycia, after letting us know what an evil man her father was, and Natalie as well, and Shelley as well, they chose to protect Ted Bollinger. Alycia was never unsafe from me. Neither was Natalie. But they thought that their secrets would be safe with me after what they had done. I kept their secrets. I kept all of these people's secrets. And when I was being harmed, as if I were Ted Bollinger, I let those secrets go. I let them loose. I let the whole world know. If you are so selfish that you would let an innocent man be harmed, don't be angry at that man for exposing the people who actually did those things, especially when they do it with your words. Alycia Bollinger deserves this pain and sorrow. I don't. Ted Bollinger deserves this pain and sorrow. I don't. No matter how pissed off I was at Natalie, when she disappeared, I had to forget about all that and just focus on trying to get her safe. No matter how pissed off I am at Alycia, when she disappeared twice she's fucking disappeared. I had to drop my anger at the way that I've been treated because getting her safe was the most important thing. Safe from Ted. I didn't take her on a high-speed chase through multiple states. I didn't have her selling drugs on Pearl Street. I didn't rape her or molest her. I didn't drop her off in a bad neighborhood in Wichita, Kansas. I just wanted her to tell the truth so I could see my loved ones without being harmed. See, that physical harm comes along with mental anguish because I have to take that physical harm. I have to let people hurt me because if I defend myself, I get harmed further. Because in the eyes of the law, the term mentally ill means that I'm not human enough for the Constitution. Mr. Bobby, he thinks kind of like me. When Alycia disappeared, he did something he probably shouldn't have, but it was the right thing to do. He got a hold of me and let me know she was missing. And I got the word out as best I could. You're welcome, Alycia, for looking out for you despite all that you've done. I've been dehydrated before. It's not fun. Bobby says not to kill myself that way because it's hell. It can't be any more hell than the last 3 years of my life. Constantly moving, wasting resources to go from one abusive environment to another. I kept people safe. Nobody kept me safe. They just prolonged the agony and dragged my time out until there was nothing that could be done. The police did this on purpose. The people who tried to help me did not. Some of them did. I don't believe for 1 minute that Danica Garner or Shelley Campbell were ever going to help me. I don't believe for 1 moment that they believe in Jesus or they would have told the truth. I don't believe for 1 moment that Rose Kelly or Alycia Bollinger believe in Jesus because they would have told the truth. I don't believe for 1 moment that Tabitha Cook or Graham actually believe in Jesus because if they did, they would have told the truth. Alycia, you're welcome for keeping you safe the best I could. You're welcome for trying to keep you safe despite all that you've done to me and all that your friends and family have done to me and all that the media and the police and the public have done to me over your slander and your sister's slander. You're welcome for keeping you safe. You're welcome for trying to help find you when you disappeared not once but twice. May God have mercy on your soul, if there is such a thing, and if it is right that he should do such a thing. Or she, it doesn't matter to me. You describe your deity however you choose.